How do you be consistent right away when you've never been consistent before? Or if you're someone who is generally disciplined, you've been consistent and then now you're in a rut, you're like procrastinating and you don't know how to get out of it for the first time. Whatever the case may be, even if it's like the day before your final exam, or your GPA is really low, you're about to get kicked out of university, you're about to lose your job, no matter how serious the situation is, how do you fix this right away as if it's an emergency and not um, fall under the pressure, right? So the I wanted to make a video on like a quick answer, a quick solution to this, to sort of jumpstart you in the right direction and just get you flowing right away. And the first step is you have to acknowledge that whatever happens is a result of your stress regulation, because everything is according to your behavior, right? Like, but you can download as many apps as you want to help fix your situation. You can talk to people, seek a professional. You can do whatever you want. You can start journaling, like do all these techniques, which are good. They're not bad things. A lot of organized and productive people use these techniques. But if you're already procrastinating and you don't want to do what you want to do and you're dreading it, the first thing you need to do is actually start doing something, right? So to get yourself into a consistent loop, you have to start by doing things that are easy, and then you have to start by teaching yourself to enjoy the aspect of doing things consistently itself. That has to be something that's not like work to you. You ever heard those quotes? People always say that, oh, you have to work hard, you have to do this if you want to be successful. Successful people, they always say, oh, I work so hard, whatever and stuff. It's cool to make it sound like discipline is something tough and like difficult and hard. I actually want to make a completely controversial statement. I'm going to teach you something that's completely the opposite and is going to change your mind. Discipline is the easiest thing you can do. It's actually the most enjoyable, pleasurable, and most easiest route. It's the route of not taking discipline that's actually a lot harder, and I'll explain why. It's because discipline does not rely on motivation. Contrary to what you might think. You might think, okay, I need to get motivated, right? You might think that I'm trying to motivate you right now, but I'm not. I'm not going to motivate you at all, because you're going to intrinsically do things on your own without needing any motivation from me, yourself, or anyone else. Because why? Motivation itself, as a source of energy, is volatile. It means it comes sometimes and then sometimes it's not there. So why do you want to rely on something that's not always there to get your things done? You want to rely on something that is permanent. So discipline is the act of doing things consistently regardless of whatever the situation is. So you're not gonna, exercise outside or go for a walk or run, whatever you like to do, because it's a nice day. No, the nice day shouldn't affect you whatsoever. You only do it just because you're gonna do it. Even if it rains, even if it doesn't, you really don't care. Mentally, it doesn't even bother you. You should feel like it's all the same. You have to find that reward from just doing things daily, regardless of the reward, right? So a main key to this is, like, when it comes to tests and exams, right? I know it's really hard just like saying it, but you actually have to not care, even if you fail. You actually have to not care. Because you have to understand that everything you do in life has to be approached as a win-win situation. Because what is going to happen? There's only two outcomes. One, either you put in the work, and then you didn't do well enough and you failed while you were pressured and you were stressed, and you'll never know if that actually led to part of you doing worse and your health being affected, and you'll look back at that time thinking, wow, I didn't even enjoy that time and I failed. Even if you did well, you would look back and think, okay, well, I could have enjoyed that time, I was just working on this thing all the time, right? Two, you maybe do well and you are not worried, you don't care if you fail or not, you're just putting in the work every day. Or you do fail and you're just putting in the work every day, but you're still living your life. You're still getting your other things done. You're taking care of your health. You're, waking up in the morning. You're stretching, doing whatever else the other things you need to do. So the way that this works to get you jump started into this kind of flow is, first thing you have to do is, even if there's a test tomorrow, even if there's an exam, you have to do something that's easy enough for you to do in 10 minutes. So if it's like, let's say it's like a calculus exam and you like suck at calculus, like I'm not that great at it. I don't like math, right? I would literally just do even like the first chapter, even the easiest chapter in the book that I know that, okay, I can probably understand just a little bit, and literally just study it for 10 minutes. Nothing else. I know this is the part of this where people may be tempted to think, okay, yeah, I know, I'm tricking my brain into doing just a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back and want to do more. But that's not it. This is where people mess up, because your goal is not to put in work. Your goal is to just do something, just be involved in that activity, and then throw it away, put it away, forget about it. Literally just put it out of your mind. Walk away from it and just say, okay, you can say you hate calculus, you could do whatever. Your only goal in life is to come back the next day and do it again. Replicate those 10 minutes. If you want to add a few minutes, that's fine. But that those 10 minutes have to be replicated no matter what. That's got to be your life, like your religion. And when you come back and do those 10 minutes, you're like a calculus god. Like you're literally like, you feel like you love calculus. It's all you would want to do. Even if you're going to fail your exam and you only know 2 things in the entire textbook, you only answer 1 question, you're still loving it. You're a calculus hero. Then you put it away, come back later. The reason why you have to do this is because there are other things in your life that are going to go unnoticed. You have to attempt to complete all these other things too. Some things you might already be consistent with. You probably brush your teeth every day. You probably take a shower most days, I would hope. But, there are certain things like exercise a lot of people would procrastinate on. That's also, it's approached the exact same way. The 10-minute rule. I always tell people, okay, just literally, if you're not in the mood, just do something. Just get your body active. That's literally all it is. You can do even 5 jumping jacks. If that's what you can do, you can stretch. You can literally just walk a little bit. But, when it comes to walking, a lot of people do say that, okay, I'll walk and stuff. I'll be honest, walking is not enough to get yourself really active. I would say stretch, do jumping jacks, do something that's like full body movement. You're kind of like really feeling your body move in a way that you don't normally get to move. If it's crawling, crawl. We never crawl, right? You're doing these kind of movements that you can do, but you just don't do enough. And do it for 5 minutes. So much that it's so easy that you could like feel like you could do like with your eyes closed, right? And then come back again, same thing. Your only goal is to do it again, replicate it the next day. Even if you are doing it so slow and you feel like, okay, but I'm not that good, I'm not getting results, whatever, you have to keep doing this, because there has to be a baseline prerequisite amount of effort you put in for your body, for your health, for your school, for your work, every single day, regardless of whether you're competing. Because the thing is, when it comes to consistency, there is a steep curve where when you keep doing this every day, you put this 20% effort, 40% effort, eventually it becomes such that doing the difficult stuff, like writing a hard exam and doing all these hard intense workouts, you'll be able to do them naturally, but even that will be like 40% effort for you. You won't even have to think about it. You should not have to think about it. Those guys who you see, they're like thinking so hard and they're stressed out just to work out, and they're like really like pushing it and stuff. That shouldn't be you. You should always be enjoying whatever you're doing, honestly. So like, of course there are scenarios in the workplace where you do kind of have to push it, but otherwise don't do this for everything, right? You have to try and control the stress and don't make yourself hate that activity. So that's how I think you should jumpstart with consistency. There's obviously more detail to it, and there's like, once you start, how do you track yourself? And I'll make a video on habits. I think habit tracking is really essential. But jump starting and just putting in that 10 minutes, honestly, believe me, it works. Like, if you don't believe me, seriously, just try it. You have literally nothing to lose. There's literally nothing. So I hope this works for you.